USC and UCLA. Here we go. Kiki Rice for UCLA. And this Bruins team just one loss all year. They have been dominant all season long into the post. Here is Betts turning and firing. She misses. She gets a second chance. Dugalich rattled it out.
But rebounding is a huge factor. It's such a big strength of UCLA, so their second chance opportunities is something that USC needs to be very mindful of.
Oh boy. JuJu Watkins has the first bucket.
And a three-point shot. We know what she did in that first quarter at USC and how she lit things up from the three-point line. A major factor in how they got their start.
38 points. The 8 blocks might have been the story of the year in college basketball. Her defense was outstanding. And here is deep position for Betts. She gives it up. Refeed very quickly. She got deeper and missed.
And that's tough defense by Marshall. You said it, though. That's going to be a key for Betts, how deep she can seal.
Kiki Iriafen. Second chance for her. That jumper is good for Rhea Marshall, and USC has a 5-0 lead.
I tell you what, you see the look on their face, the comfort and the ease they're getting into their offense, how they're being staunch on the defensive end. They look confident.
That's a miss for Rice. USC, as Allison said, was in control at the end of that game last time, and now maybe some transition for UCLA. And London Jones, a very strong shooter. To the high post here. Tight defense by Iriafen, who has just been fantastic this year. Dugalich is pinned, and it's a turnover.
USC is dominant on the defensive side, and that's a big reason why they're able to be fluid into their offense when they get stops. You look right here, and Iriafen just does a great job of bottling up Dugalich. Can't do much with it, the 3-second call, but overall possessions for UCLA on the offensive end have been disjointed.
USC has 10 wins by 30+ this year. Here is Watkins. Top pull-up. Oh, this could be one of those nights for JuJu Watkins again.
She had a signature night at USC, 25 points in the first half, which included 6 threes, and she's cooking already.
Dugalich, that rattled out. Betts had it pried away by Talia von Oelhoffen, and a tie-up will go to USC.
Uncharacteristic misses, and some of that may be nerves, some of that's the heightened emotions, and sometimes shots just don't fall, but it's about staying composed, and they're a veteran group that should be able to do that here at home.
They're shooting nearly 50% for the year as a team, 48.5%. Oelhoffen starts her move. She'll kick it out. Another jumper for Marshall. This one won't fall. Iriafen's got the rebound. Got it back, and there's 2 down low. Rhea Marshall battling down there with Iriafen.
I don't know if that was an intended pass from Iriafen, but give her assist anyway as it bounced over to Marshall. A good job. Again, the multiple effort plays that the Trojans have brought to the table early on have been critical.
It's an extension of that 4th quarter.
JuJu Watkins herself had been very admittedly about having some tough weeks, but she is locked in.
There's another miss. Janiah Barker that time. UCLA is 0 for 6. Lead pass up ahead, taken away from Iriafen. Watkins waits for Rice into the front court. That 3 will not fall for Hawkins. Follow, no. JuJu on the move. JuJu Watkins, a Euro step. She spun it out. Boy, USC really could have a larger lead in this game right now.
Well, and you look at how USC plays, so much of what they want to do is get it in transition, that early type of offense. That comes from getting stops and getting rebounds, which they have done.
That 2 goes for Barker. The first points for UCLA. She missed the last game, but had 10 big points in the first meeting.
And Barker's going to be important. You mentioned it in going through the lineup. So we know the star power on the floor, but it is the complementary players. There's a reason these are the #2 and #4 teams in the country.
JuJu got caught midair, got the kick out, and then picks up 3 and a foul. That's her first 3 in the last 4 games. She came in 0 for her last 5, and Talia von Oelhoffen, whose dad, Kimo, was an NFL player for a decade and a half, has a 4-point play as Kaylee Heckel comes into the ballgame, the freshman for USC. And by the way, you saw a little while ago Clarice Akunwafo into the game as well. She is so important as a defender against Lauren Betts. She played 21 minutes in the first meeting and did not shoot the ball.
Well, and that's the part of what it means to be a team and understand roles and understand the impact you can have. Akunwafo is an important aspect of that because USC will toss multiple looks at Betts, multiple players. They'll show doubles. They'll do a lot of different things to try and make it tough for her on her catches. And you can see Akunwafo doing on this possession.
Rice. Oh, wow. Smooth.
And for Kiki Rice, seeing it go through for UCLA, like I said, they're a composed team.
JuJu, a soft roll. She's got 2 more, nearly half the points for USC.
She's special.
Don't blink.
There's no other ways to say it. And when the moments are biggest, she seems to be at her best. Setting the tone and how she's able to use her size, her physicality, and getting to places on the floor and reading what UCLA is throwing at her defensively, because they're going to give her some different looks with different players.
Same for Lauren Betts from USC defensively. Here is Iriafen on the defense. Parker hit the underside of the rim, and it's out of bounds to USC.
And a lot of what you're seeing, too, USC's defense is excellent, and they have been. And so it allows them to get to their offense even quicker. And for JuJu and what she's been able to do, she wants to go right. We talked to Corey Close about that. Everyone knows that, but she still finds ways to manipulate the defense to get the shots that she wants.
See the edge right there, giving her the left hand. Corey Close said if we can just make it like 30% that she goes right instead of 70%, that's good news for us. Iriafen misses the jumper, and the rebound for UCLA and the freshman Arnisalo. Big 3 for the Bruins is good for Gardner. She was awesome against Arkansas in November. She hit 7 of them, and that would be a game changer for the Bruins. Heckel missed the turnaround point. That's certainly, that type of 3 could affect how much post presence UCLA has later in the game. Watkins with Gardner now. Parker sizing up Iriafen, trying to tunnel through. Great defense. Oh, she scored anyway, and a foul. That's 2 on Iriafen, and UCLA charging hard.
But she had a level of confidence to her, and new to this rivalry, new to what this means, but you can see that she's been very steady in her presence on the floor, and doing so again now that they have her matched up against Watkins.
She just knocked Iriafen out of the ballgame for at least a chunk of time here. That's kicked by Arnisalo.
But these are going to be interesting possessions. You see Barker, she did this before, face guarding Watkins and just kind of trying to take her out of the possession. And so what do the teammates, other players on the floor of USC do to still try and operate and run an offense, even if Watkins isn't quite as involved?
She wants it here. She's got it. Catch and shoot. And it's a bullseye. Involved, you say?
Never mind. A little pin down, get open. But that's where Watkins is so good at picking her spots.
Basically every spot has been her spot so far tonight. Double figures already. Arnisalo, deep post presence. Betts.
That's it. And that's the key for Betts. If she can get that deep of a seal and that deep of a position, doing her work before the catch, it is nearly impossible to stop.
JuJu got it again. The visceral reaction by Corey Close on the sideline says it all. She's like, man, you cannot leave her that step.
You give her that type of space. The tough part is, though, it's easy to say, much harder to do, knowing she can get to her mid-range, get to the basket. It's that split second of airspace to get off a shot, and when she is hitting, she is hitting. And a player like her that sees it go through, the basket feels massive.
How do you defend that when she's seeing?
Well, you got to, part of it, which, again, easier said than done, UCLA is trying to do, it's before the catch.
Downstairs, there's a 2 for Gardner. She has 5.
A really good play, out of bounds under for UCLA. We try and get some easy ones.
Barker reaching in, trying to affect Watkins. She gave it up. Avery Howell missed it. Rebound for Barker. And we get a foul against USC. That's number 5 already in the quarter. Yeah, they're only plus 45 for the year in free throw attempts against their opponents. Barker missed it. Lindsey Gottlieb the last couple of days, and Close mentioned that they had a conversation last night about a topic that was totally different. But Corey Close said it's not lost on either of us how big of a scene this is and how big of a jump this is for women's basketball from when they started, when they played, when they started coaching, and how important this night is to the sport. And it's very cool to see that level of camaraderie, and then they go battle for a title. Kennedy Smith on the duck in, missed it. Betts over the top, had her arm chopped, and she will go to the free throw line.
These women are talented. They can showcase their skills in ways, and you see it, you feel it in this arena. You feel the energy, the attention, and it is a long time coming to deserve, but pay tribute and appreciation and gratitude for those, like we're talking about, the Cheryl Millers that are sitting here, Ann Myers-Drysdale, who's in the building, Tina Thompson, Lisa Leslie, all of those. There's a reason why all of us are sitting here so enthused about what's happening here on the floor.
This really is the toughest ticket in town as Watkins misses short. Rebound, Arnisalo. In ahead for Rice, punched away by Watkins. Von Oelhoffen threads it through somehow. Oh my goodness gracious, what a pass to Heckel.
Filthy, because Heckel's got the speed.
I mean, that was a Jaden Daniels-like pass.
He's probably impressed with tossing a teammate open, because he does plenty of that.
I think
he was at the he's here often.
He is. He and Sudeikis, I feel like, have season tickets to both sides of town. Jaden Daniels, I think, is number 1 most excited about that pass. Number 2, excited about the possibility of Debo Samuel, as we heard a couple hours before the game. JuJu's feeling it. That's front iron, and the rebound for UCLA. Credit the Bruins for hanging around here.
You've got to feel very good about the fact that they have not played their best basketball. They've missed shots they would normally make.
Dugalich, too strong. Rebound, wrestled down by Von Oelhoffen.
And you're still looking at a 2-possession game.
Another tough pass. It's wiped away by Rice. Don't go breaking her heart, Kiki.
Identifying early, because USC will find players with their leak outs and with their runs.
Tipped by Dugalich, out of bounds. Worth mentioning, by the way, Sarah, at a minute left in the first quarter, Kiki Iriafen 2 fouls, Kennedy Smith 2 fouls for USC. And
that becomes important, but overall on the floor, that's why USC has been so impressive, because of the young players, the freshmen that they have, despite Kennedy Smith being one of those, but have relied upon, that have been so steady on the floor.
They showed the double. There it is. Watkins has to hook a pass out of it, and still 12 to shoot for Von Oelhoffen. On the drive, a long step. She missed it short. Rebound, UCLA. Rice tiptoeing the sideline. Kiki Rice full of energy. Dugalich knocks it down.
You know it was only a matter of time, and Dugalich is a player that can open up the floor with her deep shooting. That's a big-time knockdown as they're heading here and closing out this first quarter.
This place has been wired all night long, and it is up for grabs.
It's a little hot in here, Jay.
It's getting louder somehow. Watkins met by Barker. She'll back off now. Rice has her. Watkins, here comes Barker. Watkins gave it up. Rhea Marshall, UCLA creates a shot clock violation with tag team defense.
Yeah, you want to make sure, though, that they don't get anything over the top, which is what they're looking for.
That's what they're trying to do. Barker, the catch. She's got a good look. It's exactly as they kind of drew it up in shoot around. You're going to have to take a punch at some point today, and they did right out of the gate, and UCLA has seen that work really pay off. Kennedy Smith back in with 2 fouls, defending Rice. Got to be careful. Rice got into a thicket of defensive players. She gave it up. Watkins, too short. Rebound. slammed out of bounds to USC.
And those are the shots, though, you got to make sure don't mentally wear on you, or that you continue to operate in the same ways which you are, because UCLA has missed shots that have created quality ones and close ones to the basket that just have not gone through. But the mental part of it is huge. That's why you give these players so much credit for the understanding of that and how to best use that and channel that to their advantage.
See what USC does without JuJu Watkins, and the answer is a three from Kennedy Smith.
Look, they're confident. They have got a feel about them, a moxie about them, and how they play, how they've shown up, and it matters.
Smith in the passing lane, picks it off. Iriafen filling the lane for two, and it's a 5-0 run out of the gate in the second quarter with Watkins on the bench.
Defense to offense, 8 points off turnovers now for USC.
I mean, when she decided to transfer, she got on the phone with JuJu Watkins to make sure it was the right fit for both of them. They are two peas in a pod, really. And we get a foul on the floor against USC.
At least sitting here with a lead and some breathing room to make sure you get into that second half. Because you think about Iriafen in the last meeting, she struggled early on, but was critical in the fourth quarter, coming up with 9 points. And so it was JuJu carrying it early. JuJu really carrying it from start to finish.
Yeah.
But you need Iriafen in her presence, her experience, and what she brings to the table if you're trying to close this one out. And you got to think about that big picture.
The lead is 8 for USC. They get down low again. That won't fall for Akunwafo, but it's pried away by Howell. Olhoffen got all the way downstairs, then threw it into the backcourt. It's a USC turnover eventually. UCLA has never been to a Final Four in the current state of NCAA women's basketball. They did win a title back in 1978 in the AIAW days behind Ann Myers-Drysdale, among others, who we saw earlier tonight. Rice, step back. Tough shot. Watkins on the gas pedal. Look out. She'll go to the free throw line.
I think that's in some ways the biggest growth from her freshman year to her sophomore year. She has seen every defensive coverage thrown at her, and every game plan is against her, and how she continues to find ways to still put up those numbers. And I think sometimes that may have contributed to the little bit of a down stretch or uncharacteristic stretch we saw from her through the mid part of the season. But now I think that's where this chess match comes in with Corey Close, with UCLA, how they continue to try and make things really tough for Watkins, and hopefully that will mitigate some of the looks that USC is getting on the offensive side.
Betts is deep here against Akunwafo. She gave it up. There's a refeed of the post again. Akunwafo, hello, Clarice.
Man, she's tough. Speaking of size and strength, and not often do you see that up against Lauren Betts. Normally can have her way, but what they want her to do is put it on the floor.
That's a nice out-of-bounds play for Jaquez and UCLA.
Not the first time we've said that about the Bruins. They do a very good job in their execution of cutting, and sometimes the other players attract so much gravity that it opens up those cuts.
JuJu twice thought about a shot, instead gave it up for Smith, who misses. The Jaquez legacy continues at UCLA. Here is Betts against Akunwafo. Oh, a little step through. There's Jaquez again.
Lauren Betts knowing how to pass out of the double, nearly triple team, and what a cut by Jaquez.
Rebound, foul against Gardner.
But they've got so many great slashers that can cut off the ball.
Jaquez, who grew up wanting to play for UCLA, couldn't have even imagined a game like this, right? For a title on the line in this city, and that is somehow going to go down for Kennedy Smith. What in the world? All we were missing was the trapeze. This game has been wild. The atmosphere has been absolutely volatile in the best way. Betts is deep, knocked away by Akunwafo. She is staunch down there. What big minutes she's played in this series. A screen from Akunwafo. Von Oelhoffen knocks it down. That was 94 feet of outside of the box score brilliance from Akunwafo.
Just the resiliency of the Bruins, which we've seen from them. There's a reason they are number 2 in the country and only have 1 loss so far this season. But a big part of it is just maintaining their composure.
Rhea Marshall tangled down low with Betts, denied her the ball. Here's London Jones, who hasn't taken a shot from 3 yet. She lost it on the way through and picked up by Jaquez. Betts, didn't take the shot, snapped it wide to the corner instead. A miss for Jones. Betts clears the rebound, and a reset for UCLA. Surprising, Lauren Betts didn't take that shot.
I think she saw JuJu Watkins coming over, and Watkins had a couple blocks on her in his last meeting.
Betts is deep again. She scores.
And that's exactly what UCLA needs. And Lauren Betts is strong underneath, but it's that deep positioning that makes such a difference.
No dice. Rebound for Arnisalo. On the hit ahead for Betts, a little too much. USC could get a sweep of the series this year.
It's a lot on the line, and it matters. Those things matter.
Well, catch Kennedy Smith, no.
Jay, on top of the fact, like, you could feel how special it is with so many LA-born players here on the floor.
Including Watkins. There's Rice on the drive. Betts the follow, and she is fouled. Oh, no, they're going to say travel. Oh, my word.
On my first glance, you could fully understand their frustration.
Watkins pulling. Oh, that's rugged.
Again, though, she's going to her right. She's working in single coverage, and that's where it's the next play mentality. And whether she was or wasn't, but Kiki Rice potentially still thinking about that last possession, and JuJu got exactly where she wanted to on the floor.
Rice did that time. Rebound, Von Oelhoffen. She had that pass sized up the whole way and nailed it to Kennedy Smith. A dime.
Credit to USC in transition, but there's been too many times that UCLA has been back, but have just gotten lost on weak side players filling the lanes.
Up from Watkins on Betts, and we get a whistle down low. Betts took an extra step. She is frustrated, you can tell. This is exactly what Allison reported on, right? What is your next step in that? Do you carry that frustration to the next possession, or don't you? Watkins roaming, drops it off Marshall. Extra pass, got 2 down low for Akunwafo.
That interior passing is special. The chemistry that we've seen grow from USC this season, those are the type of things that have changed.
That was surgery right there. Barker on the drive. Reverse no. Rebound Betts. Lost it on the way through. Was not on the end line. Knocked around. Taken back by Barker for UCLA. And what do we have? A foul, I believe.
Because of their reads on the off-ball defenders.
Corey Close says, I've been watching. If I'm reading lips properly. That was part of the conversation.
Try not to read lips. I feel like it leads me in bad places.
I'm here for you. I got it. 12-point game for USC. UCLA has never led tonight. In a battle for the Big Ten title. JuJu Watkins on the kick, got it to the corner. That shot no good. Offensive rebound, Akunwafo, and she whistled it into the backcourt. Dugalich carving the lane. She was met by a double, and we get a foul. Watkins cannot believe it.
So much of what they do is dominance on the defensive side.
Oh, another slip from Jaquez. She has been awesome away from the ball.
Out-of-bound under plays have been working for UCLA.
Watkins draws a whistle.
For UCLA, finding areas, though, that they can create three-point looks and potentially knock down three-point shots, I think is something to monitor, because that may change the dynamic of what happens here.
Watkins, no. Rebound Akunuafo had it knocked away. It's on the end line or thereabouts. She picked it up off her ankle, lost it on the way up with the ball, and it's taken by UCLA. Barker, they double the post again and rip it free. Watkins probing. Now starts her move. And scores! That is absolutely lethal from JuJu Watkins, who wants this to be her city.
And she's been doing it from everywhere, Jay. And she's also been really fluid in her reads. So she's looking to facilitate. She's made some really nice passes. But so much of it has been, she's getting to her right side. And that's what UCLA has got to stop. Those differences. But you mentioned the points off turnovers. That's what USC does. That's a reason why, even though they're a team that doesn't take a lot of three-point shots, they don't necessarily always shoot the highest of efficiency, they will come at you in waves. They force nearly 20 opponent turnovers, and they're so good in then capitalizing at the other end.
That's why they've already won 2 road games against top 10 opponents this year. Heckel off the deflection, under a minute to go first half. Dugalich, good defense, screen from Akunuafo. Heckel had it blocked away by Gardner, just absolutely smothered.
Heckel's lightning quick, and she can get downhill in a hurry, but this is good help side coming over from Gardner, and Dugalich staying with her, and that's where the size advantage of the Bruins needs to come into play, especially when it comes to some of the perimeter players trying to get in.
JuJu on an island, 5 to shoot. She pulls, and got it! Some nights, 12 in Cardinal is unstoppable. Turnover, Bruins.
I put an asterisk on some. JuJu was nice. I mean, she's so smooth in what she wants to do, and we say it so often, there is nothing you love more than a player that when the moment is biggest, they are ready to meet it.
Her family entrenched in this city. She decided to stay home to play college ball to help improve a program that felt something like a sleeping giant to her. 5, she tries to hook a pass. Howell couldn't come up with it. Arnisalo up ahead. That 3 won't go for Jaquez.
Time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
USC and stay home for that reason as she misses the free throw.
It is the beauty of basketball, the beauty of sports, the beauty of rivalries.
She missed both. What a game. That's in the high post. She wants it back. She won't take the shot. Rice has been the navigator. A dance step from Rice into a step back 3. Rebound Trojans. They dodged one there.
Building was ready to explode if that went through. How teams have started quarters, but how things finish here in the third is going to be just as impactful.
The chanting air ball, which is officially poking the bear for JuJu Watkins. Samuels, what a tough drive. Her last points were February 5th. You never know who the hero is going to be in a game like this. Dugalich on Iriafen. Wraparound pass, nobody home. Gardner the turnover. Watkins on the gas pedal. She nearly traveled. Iriafen. Oh, my!
So
it's just muscle.
Arnisalo makes an excellent play in transition. How tough is it to slow down Watkins? Does that, but when forcing a miss, you've got to come up with those rebounds if you're UCLA. Part of it is they give you 5 for a reason. This is a team that plays physical, and so there's a balance to that. And again, I'm going to circle back. In some ways, less about the foul-out nature, more about how much does it ultimately alter how you play and that type of pressure and toughness that you're playing with because you're concerned for it.
Watkins steps through a double and met by Parker. She smoked it, and we get a whistle. Boy, that was a late whistle.
I'm still impressed with her ability to be able to manipulate through 2 defenders trying to trap her.
That's not exactly the Trojan slogan that the Bear has the sign for. It's a variation on a theme. Free throw good. It's a 5-0 run for USC and a much needed one. Samuels has done a very nice job on Rice. Iriafen steps in front. Kiki Iriafen, 7 points in the 3rd quarter. Another step through. JuJu Watkins riding down the lane. That was surgery again. 30 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Here is Gardner. Through Jaquez, who's been very important in this comeback, and we get a whistle on the drive and a turnover. UCLA, it's a 3-second.
I keep saying it, like, give credit to USC's defense because UCLA is disjointed on offense. They haven't had good rhythm, good flow, and I think a big part of that has been what the Trojans have been doing to them, but we just haven't seen the consistency of them getting the quality of looks that they're used to.
Iriafen taking matters into her own hands after not playing much in the first half with foul trouble. Rice picks up the dribble. Gardner's got to shoot. She didn't know it, and USC has taken UCLA and moved the Bruins out of sorts again.
It's getting the ball to the places of the floor you want to, and doing so with forcefulness, and they just have not. It has been USC that's imposed their will for most of this game.
And they've created 5 turnovers from Lauren Betts so far tonight with 10 minutes to go. Big Ten title hanging in the balance. Samuels tees it up and missed it right. Rebound for Rice.
And there's plenty of time left in this game, but you got to see a little bit more sharpness.
Like that.
Like that. Those are the, whether it's the balance and spread on the floor, whether it's the entry passes, the screening, deep seals, work done before a catch. That's what the Bruins do, and that's what they need to get back to.
Rhea Marshall has hit a couple of those tonight for USC. Rice trying to bruise down the back door. Samuels has played great defensive minutes. That shot won't fall. It's a rebound for Marshall again. Samuels, the track star in high school. I mean, you talk about 12 minutes a game, not a whole lot of runs. 6 minutes last time out. She's been huge. Iriafen bulldozing through, no whistle, and she's got 2 on a reverse.
Patience at the end of her dribble. She avoids Betts being able to get a hand on that one because she goes reverse on the opposite side of the basket. I keep saying there's a confidence that this USC team has had out of the gates, and whether it was coming off that win or just in general how they've been coming together and playing, their chemistry has built night by night.
Rice sinks 2. USC has played tonight like they felt like when they walked in the building they were going to win the game. It's on the floor. Samuels rescues it. Watkins to Howell in the corner. Catch and shoot, ring it up. The freshman from Boise, her first make. She has been so important from 3 for this team. That's too much. Rebound Iriafen, who has played like herself and then some in the second half. Out again. Oh, man! Avery Howell, sharpshooter to the stars, has 6 in a row.
I think that's as big as we've seen Watkins smile tonight. Get into the hot hand. Howell, an important piece of opening up the floor. USC has shot the ball from 3 really well. That was a component we talked about early on.
That's too strong. Rebound, out of bounds.
Transition defense for UCLA has not been there, and just understanding where to pick up players early, and they've gotten the looks they've wanted.
Betts trying to clear and road grade, and she gets fouled. She'll go to the free throw line. Betts got the first. 23-game win streak. 22 straight double-figure wins at one point. They have 1 loss all year. They could have a second, and they'd both be against the same team that happens to inhabit the same city. 10-second call turnover with under 7 to go. It's got to start now for the Bruins.
It's got to start now, and for USC, they just have not allowed that. Even when UCLA cut it as close as 5, was it? It was USC that continued to dictate the tempo and the pace, and it's this end of the floor where they've started it at.
Rice did not get the bounce, and Iriafen snares the rebound and goes streaking down the floor. She wants to do this herself. Iriafen possessed. Got it! That is unreal belief. She could have gotten quintuple teamed if she was taking that shot. Jones, good.
And for UCLA, Jones, we talked about this early coming up. Look, there's still 6 minutes left in this game. Score aside, this too comes down to a matter of pride, a matter of what you're building at this point of the season, how you want to play, how you want to perform. So you need to see that sense of urgency and sense of life.
Are you going to the Big Ten tournament? Are you going to the NCAA tournament? That is just smoked by Betts.
Exactly plays like that.
Yes.
Because that's what she does. Lauren Betts is 5th in the country in blocks per game.
Oh, Watkins, who had 8 of them last time, is going to savor that.
Coming over the top, and so is JuJu Watkins. Yeah, stop and stare. You earned that, JuJu.
Thought Brian Biederman, our director, was choosing the cameras, but it's actually JuJu Watkins selecting the cameras tonight.
They're both the best in the business.
She's better at blocking shots. She got 2 in a row. And listening to Lindsay Gottlieb talk about JuJu Watkins defensively, she was talking to Beth Burns, her longtime assistant, and Beth kept saying as they were watching tape, are you going to drill that play? You going to make that happen defensively in drills? The answer is no. JuJu just does it herself and plays by her instincts as Gottlieb tells her to.
That's the word, though.
Dugalich. No, that stays alive off the backboard. Aku and Wafo lost it out of bounds.
And you're starting to see that filter, and it has, through how USC plays and the freedom that Lindsay Gottlieb entrusts them with of playing with instincts. Yes, you have a game plan, but...
She comes from Stanford, which was a very buttoned-up offense and has had some more creative freedom as Jones can't hit. Iriafen just fangs out, grabs the rebound. Watkins, step aside 3. Oh, she wanted the intercept there. She was watching Gardner's eyes.
And that was a smart play by Gardner, because too often tonight UCLA has telegraphed those passes, and it's led to 2 the other way.
Jones missed it. USC trying to take some air out of the balloon. Iriafen has been a star in the second half. Twisting again this time. She misses, and the rebound out of bounds to the Bruins.
That's how USC goes, and you saw that from the get-go of how she was able to set the tone, same thing could be said the last time that these two met, and they knocked off UCLA when they were 23-0, and once again, you see it here tonight. And the confidence is overflowing, but I think so much of it begins with her.
She's our steady performance, sponsored by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865. Gardner, no. That's a compliment, by the way. Brilliantly boring since 1865.
Man, I don't know.
I didn't call you brilliant.
I don't need you to call me that, but it may be true.
No, it's not.
It may be accurate.
It's not about you. There's Samuels with USC up by 17. What a performance so far tonight for the Trojans. They're going to try and put this thing away and win a Big Ten title. They double her and they hit ahead for Rice. It's a race, and Watkins gets over there at least to get a hand in and come up the works, and it will be USC basketball. You know, we talked about JuJu Watkins' family and her grandfather and her great-grandfather as community organizers and participants and trying to build. She's doing it in her own way, with her own touchstone, with her own sport and avenue. But it's the same idea that has grown for generations in her family. And now she and her teammates are doing it together to draw attention to not only a school and a city, but a sport that deserves it in so many ways.
Yeah, and we say this too, just remembering the foundation that has been laid, you know, and just what USC has been able to do. So many players, we're talking about Cheryl Miller sitting right here, but have come before, Tina Thompson and Cynthia Cooper and Lisa Leslie and all the rest. And that's what it's all about, building on that foundation. And you see where the game is at, and the game is in good hands, to say the least. It is fun to continue to watch and see what that means, and what that means for all of these individuals, the alums, the fans, and the young future Hoopers that are watching and aspiring to be.
And there are plenty of them here once again. I mean, it's exponential growth when you have somebody like Caitlin Clark, but then you pass the torch in terms of college scoring numbers to somebody like JuJu Watkins, and it is so fitting that we have Cheryl Miller here in attendance tonight, and Ann Myers-Drysdale, a tremendous ambassador for the game of college basketball. And there are generations watching this that I think, I mean, you had a marvelous career at DePaul, and for you to see what this game has become, just this specific one for a Big Ten title, it is a powerful thing. As we get a foul, Lindsay talked about going to Gino Auriemma's camp and getting to know him as she was growing up in the game. And then she keeps her team on the floor in Iowa for the Caitlin Clark jersey retirement. And it seems very fitting that USC, on this journey they've been on, with a nod to history at every step, has put together such a complete performance in a big night as Watkins misses. Rebound from Marshall, and they will reload.
And the fun of the parity of basketball right now in the game, the other teams out there, what things look like as we get set to start to head into the postseason. You think about not only conference and league tournaments, but NCAA tournaments. So I know that USC has had a good grasp on this one and how they've handled UCLA and sweeping also the season series, but you better not be counting out the Bruins in any capacity if you're a fan, because there's a long season to go and a lot of resiliency and response for all of these teams that have the fun of March ahead.
Big Ten tournament, NCAA tournament. There are a couple of opportunities for this thing to not be the end of the line for this series. And the answer is question mark. Free throw good for Watkins. Betts on the interior, gets two more. Sarah, when you walked in this building tonight, what'd you think? About the crowd, about the atmosphere, as a connoisseur of this game?
It does not get any better than this. Holly Pavilion, Los Angeles, you owe me nothing. This was extraordinary and everything you could ask for. If you're a fan of the Bruins, obviously you wish the outcome was different, but everything about this game and this environment was all you could hope for and more.
JuJu Watkins says, "Mine, thank you."
What a performance.
She is so serious and so stoic, and then one footfall outside the boundary of the court, and suddenly it's pure joy. Timeout UCLA with under a minute to go.
JuJu set the tone, but the entirety of that USC Trojans team, starting with the game plan and beginning on the defensive end of the floor against an elite UCLA group.
Ball still live and out of bounds it goes. This will be UCLA basketball. Wow, if this doesn't get you excited for the postseason, Big Ten tournament, NCAA tournament, I don't know what will, but you're talking about 2 1 seeds here, and I wouldn't imagine UCLA is going to lose that standing, depending on obviously what happens in the Big Ten tournament. But the Bruins, they've lost once, and they're going to have lost twice, and it's going to be to the same team that happens to be their rival.
And sometimes things happen. One, that rivalry, those emotions, that matters, and what that meant and means to both teams, but clearly to the USC Trojans. And also sometimes matchups matter, differences in game plans and how teams come at you, and teams just have another's number. And we've seen that thus far in a very small sample size here in these 2 games this season.
Look no further than Ryan Day and his last 365 days.
And so there's the other aspect of it, of what they're going to be accustomed to doing and preparing and approaching the postseason.
Credit to Lindsey Gottlieb as well for an unbelievable job of substituting through foul trouble tonight. Jones on the drive. She's got 2. USC never trailed tonight. On the way to staking claim to Los Angeles and the Big Ten. The Trojans, 80-67, take the Big Ten title in a sweep over UCLA.
A dominant performance